how many guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party?
LeBron?
Yeah, how Ashton Kutcher, all these people. Like, you guys all went, you didn't see nothing?
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
Everybody. If you're a bunch of other celebrities are there, you're like, oh, look, Bill Clinton's here. This is fine.
Yeah.
This is cool. Look at this. Like, Brad Pitt's here. Oh, this is cool. You don't even think there's anything wrong with being there. Meanwhile, you're getting drugged up and filmed. And then they're passing out punch.
Joe Rogan just said what everyone's been too scared to say out loud. And if he's right, this isn't just a trial. It's a full-blown cover-up. We're talking blackmail, freak-offs, elite parties, and missing witnesses. Diddy's trial has cracked open a vault of secrets so disturbing, even hardened courtroom veterans are shaken. And now, with leaked tapes, vanished evidence, and powerful names hovering in the background, the world's starting to ask, was Diddy running a Hollywood empire? Or something far more sinister? Joe Rogan thinks we're only seeing the surface. And what's underneath might be darker than anyone's ready to admit.
There's also, like, people that are elites. And that's their thing. Like, their thing is to do something that is horrible and, you know, it's not available to other people. So it's like, I think there's like a sickness that people have when they have power, like extreme power. And then well, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else is, what else is taboo? What else is forbidden? Like all this Diddy shit that's coming out. Like,
I was just going to say, doesn't that sound topical?
Jesus Christ. The first day of the trial, did you pay attention to any of that stuff? I looked at it for like 10 minutes this morning and I was like, I gotta stop. I can't look at this.
Well, what freaks me out is the people sitting in the courtroom listening to it.
Right.
And there's a wide spectrum of people that are getting subjected to it, and you just sit there and go,
yeah, well, not only that, how about the fact that this guy was running this for decades? He was doing this for decades. To who knows how many fucking people, and everybody was scared to talk about it.
What started as a celebrity scandal has become a legal horror show. On day 18, everything changed. Prosecutors dropped disturbing audio tapes, and witness Jane broke down in court. She testified about being drugged and forced into group sex acts, all while Diddy allegedly sat nearby, directing the show.
The third alleged victim, who goes by the pseudonym Jane, was back on the witness stand for her first full day of testimony. The prosecutor played an audio recording for the jury of a hotel night with a male prostitute Jane identified as Dawn. On the recording, Jane and Dawn are looking for a condom, but Combs didn't allow it and can be heard saying, quote, "You're taking that expletive." Now, Jane testified, quote, "I just didn't want to disappoint my lover. He would be unhappy and wouldn't be satisfied with me." Jane went on to tearfully tell the jury about her birthday in 2023 when she said she was made to have sex with 3 different men in addition to Combs. The prosecutor asked, why? Jane responded, "I don't know. It had become so routine," and added that she turned robotic. Jane told the jury that after a while, Combs didn't have to directly ask her for these hotel nights. She testified, "I knew it was to be expected."
Another accuser, Maya, said Diddy threatened to unalive her if she ever spoke out. She claims he controlled her through fear, isolation, and manipulation. Diddy's team is now calling it all a lie, filing for a mistrial and claiming Cassie, a key witness, made false claims. But if that's true, why fight so hard to silence the rest? On his podcast, Joe Rogan didn't just react, he sounded the alarm.
Yeah, it's really wild, man. Evil is a real thing, you know? Nobody wants to believe, because if you believe in the devil, right? If you believe in Satan, you believe in something that's silly. Like most people a lot of people believe in God. If you ask people, do you believe in God? Yeah, well, I'm not religious, but I believe in God. Okay, well, do you believe in the devil? Most people will say no. But do you believe in evil acts? Well, yeah, well, people certainly do evil things. Well, where do you think that comes from? If evil is real, what is it about us that makes us want to deny the possibility that there's some nefarious force that is in human beings, that influences human beings? It's not as simple.
He described the situation as something out of a spy thriller. Hollywood elites, hidden cameras, drugs in the drinks, and blackmail-ready footage. He said Diddy wasn't just partying, he might have been setting people up. Rogan questioned how so many powerful people could attend these events and stay silent. He even pointed out that the silence itself is suspicious. And then he asked the question that hung in the air. Is Diddy just one guy? Or the frontman for something darker? Witnesses called them freak-offs. Ritual-like parties with no rules and no escape.
And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then freak off.
Everybody says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight. Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw I go upstairs and these dudes are fucking like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room and these guys are fucking. And it's like,
and pros. Like apparently he was getting male gigolos to fuck girls.
Jane said she was drugged, sleep-deprived, and forced into group acts with strangers. She testified that after a while, she didn't even need to be asked. It became expected. Cassie claimed Diddy threw her across a room for saying the wrong thing. And another woman said she was dosed night after night to keep her awake for these events.
Alleged sex-trafficking victim is expected to testify here today that Sean Combs used lies, drugs, and threats to force her into freak-offs. After the jury hears more from a different woman who claims Combs hoisted her over that balcony.
This wasn't about pleasure. It was about domination, control, and humiliation. And prosecutors say Diddy didn't work alone. As more details surfaced, something chilling started happening. People disappeared.
I have no idea how it's possible, and I'm sure Mia is probably panicking in this moment in time. Like, are people stalking her on the internet, trying to figure out her identity? She testified that she was a victim, essentially. There's rape shield laws that exist to try to protect people in her position. And so this is really getting very nerve-wracking probably for her and just absurd for the courtroom.
One witness had her identity leaked, despite court-ordered protection. Random online accounts somehow unearthed private videos and personal data to discredit her. And then Homeland Security, not the FBI, raided Diddy's mansions in both LA and Miami. Why the unusual agency choice?
the rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
The thing is, like, we're getting the rumors from the internet, and the internet thinks that the Taliban took out that bridge in Baltimore. So it's like, who fucking knows?
Insiders believe it was about controlling the fallout. Tapes exist, and those tapes could name names, including US presidents and British royalty. If this trial blows wide open, it's not just Diddy who falls. It could shake the entire system. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. But now, that line sounds like a warning. Photos place major stars like Ashton Kutcher, LeBron James, and Kamala Harris at Diddy's events.
I had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like they're the state of New York. One of the district attorneys was hiding documents. They had to force them to give documents. I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how about Ashton Kutcher? All these people. Like, you guys all went, you didn't see nothing?
Joe Rogan believes these stars weren't just attending. They were being used to create a false sense of safety. When people saw big names, they let their guard down. But behind closed doors, guests were allegedly drugged, manipulated, and secretly filmed. One witness said phones were taken, cameras were hidden, and no one was allowed to leave early. So the real question is, how many of those celebrities were victims? And how many knew exactly what was happening? Behind the scenes, Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Carorm, was allegedly doing the dirty work. She's accused of organizing hush money payouts and pressuring hotel staff to destroy video evidence. One hotel security guard testified she offered him $100,000, then handed him the phone.
Diddy's former chief of staff, Christina Carorm, had evidence found in her phone that was seized. Today, we heard the testimony from Eddie Garcia, who was a security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel, and he said that Christina Carorm and Diddy reached out to him multiple times to try to get possession of that video of Diddy and Cassie Ventura, which he later claimed that him and his manager made this video disappear for Diddy, and they were paid $100,000.
Today, the jurors in his trial heard from a former security supervisor at that hotel.
His name is Eddie Garcia, and he testified that not long after the attack happened, Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, called him to ask for the footage. He said that he told her no on the phone, and again when she showed up in the lobby, said he told her no again. But that night, Garcia testified, Christina Coram called him again, and this time she handed the phone to Diddy. Garcia told the jury in Combs' federal trial that Puff said if that video ever got out, it would ruin his career. He testified that Diddy promised to, quote, take care of him if he could only find a way to get that video. And so, Eddie Garcia, who was promised immunity to tell the truth in court, reached out to his boss, who agreed to sell the video for $50,000.
It was Diddy telling him to erase everything. The man signed a contract swearing to never speak, and Christina vanished shortly after her phone was seized by authorities. All social media gone. No trace. She may have been more than a fixer. Some now call her Diddy's Ghislaine Maxwell. The Epstein comparison keeps coming up, and for a reason. Both men had power, parties, and access to celebrities and the elite. But what makes Diddy's case scarier? He might have the tapes. Rogan floated the theory that these weren't just wild parties. They were blackmail traps. Get someone compromised on camera, and you control their future.
You think Diddy was rogue, or Diddy was like a Epstein type, working for somebody?
That's a good question. Well, it would be a great way to compromise celebrities.
With celebrities, politicians, and billionaires potentially involved, the stakes are enormous. This isn't about one man's crimes anymore. It's about who those crimes were meant to protect. Now, Diddy's team is making a final move. Shut it down. They're claiming Cassie lied under oath and that her story doesn't line up with text messages. They accuse the prosecution of knowing this and pushing forward anyway. If the mistrial is granted, Diddy walks free. For now. But even if this trial collapses, the public has already seen too much. With every new leak, every hidden name, and every silenced witness, more people are starting to realize.
Allegations implicate dozens of unidentified witnesses and alleged co-conspirators around the world, and some of the key witnesses to the supposed incidents are dead. Basically meaning, how can we defend against it? The defense is not even permitted to share the identities of the individuals described in the disclosure letter with Mr. Combs until April 18th, further hampering defense counsel's ability to investigate. Collectively, these new allegations require many months, if not years, to investigate, and if admitted, would require a series of mini-trials certain to double the length of a trial the government originally said would last 3 weeks.
This isn't just a celebrity scandal. It's a system unraveling. The deeper this trial goes, the darker it gets. Victims are speaking out, witnesses are disappearing, and powerful names are still protected. Whether Diddy goes down or walks free, one thing's clear. This isn't just a scandal. It's a system unraveling. So, what do you think? Is Diddy just the fall guy? Or the tip of something much bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because this story is far from over.